Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of MOLEK-SYNTEZ, the organic chemistry video game. We're working on ketamine right now. Remind me what that is? Some sort of, oh yeah, dissociative. Alright. Right, we looked at this. It's been a few days since I recorded. So this is all the work we, I think, spent looking at this and deciding how to build it is now completely wasted. Oh, our first chlorine. Ooh. Is it our first? Maybe we had one a while ago. I don't remember having one, though. Right? I don't know. As if I could tell from looking at this, right? Never mind. So what could we get chlorine from? Obviously, hydrochloric acid. And that's it, right? Interesting. So both acids you can only get, or like both hydrochloric acid and sulfuric acid are the only ways to get like their primary element. They're for some reason. So we're obviously going to need one of those. And we want, well, this one looks like benzene. This one's a lot more like cyclohexane, right? Yeah. So we probably want one of each. It's not a lot of room if you're putting all this stuff in here. We obviously need hydrochloric acid. And then in addition to all that, we need NCO. Well, I mean, I guess that means we're using carbamide. Because like the only other way to get nitrogen would be with ammonia, and then you need CO. Oh, maybe methanol. But you want the C bonded to the N, right? Not to the O. So it might be more convenient to start here, where the C is already bonded to the N, and we just have to like shunt some of the hydrogen into the carbon. I don't know. You still have to remove the oxygen and put it like way the hell over here, right? It's not easy. I mean, I guess in either case, whether I take carbamide or methanol for my carbon, I'm going to have the carbon bonded to the oxygen. There's nothing you can do about that. So like getting it over here is just going to be a nuisance either way. I mean, okay, yes, you could try like taking apart the cyclohexane and jamming the carbon-oxygen pair from methanol in here and then rebonding it back together, but that sounds way harder than the alternative. Okay, well, let's just kind of start putting some pieces on the table. And I'm going to put these relatively far apart so that there's room to pass stuff around in between them. Give me the hydrochloric acid, which of course is easy to work with here. Right, and I just need to remove from both of these guys. So like an emitter here is pretty good at that. And I think it's probably fine to just use carbamide or whatever it is for the rest, right? Maybe put like the oxygen. Well, actually, this is not all that far away from what I want, right? The oxygen's pretty close to here, and the carbon and nitrogen are pretty close to here. You kind of have to flip them, huh? Well, what it's what does it mean to rotate a piece exactly, right? Like, say we have this thing here, and we rotate it, right? What happens? It rotates around a center, being the piece that you're looking at, right? So I'm sort of imagining, like, what would it look like if you took this piece, pulled the oxygen off of it, and then rotated it like this, right? Now the nitrogen and carbon are, like, exactly where you want them. Close, anyway. Okay, yeah, I guess right. I don't know. I guess it's not really all that close. I mean, like, okay, right now, this nitrogen and this carbon are in the right place, but they're backwards. So I guess what you should do is remove this nitrogen and then rotate 3 times around this nitrogen to flip the whole thing backward. And if you're doing that, here is actually a good place to start, isn't it? So when you rotate like this, it goes to where it's supposed to be. And we can remove this oxygen, I mean, not easily, but it's not a huge amount of work. And I guess actually whoever's rotating it should live like here, so they can remove it and also shunt from it. Oh wait, they don't want to remove anything. Rotate it, I mean. Shunt the hydrogen, rotate it, and pull it into place. Seems pretty cool, right? Meanwhile, someone else should be blowing this up. Or maybe the same should do it. I don't know. I don't know. Something like this. Okay, what do we want to do? Like, we have to do some stuff to the carbon atoms here as well, right? Which is remove 2 hydrogen from each of them. So we kind of need to have a straight shot, I think. But we have to do this, like, once the right molecules are in place. We can't just do it now or they'll bond to each other. This game certainly has gotten a lot more difficult in the 3rd row. The 2nd row was, like, it was a bit of a challenge, but there's a lot of planning, and the constraint of having only 6 actuators is keenly felt in some of these later ones. Where earlier it was like, okay, yeah, you could try for a low actuator solution, but if you wanted to do something easy, it was always easy. And now it's like, ugh, I don't know, I have to do some planning and stuff, right? Well, I don't know. Put that there. We could maybe, like, just try to do something and get over the analysis paralysis that way. Which is probably something like remove, move, remove. And I could go back, but honestly, I think it's kind of better to... you know what I should do? Have him work on this first, because it's more urgent. And then, oops, on his way back, something like this. Oh, hang on. You please don't do anything. Right, so he kind of takes care of removing this so that it's immediately available to work on the rest of this stuff. So that it's no longer in the way of this molecule, right? Now, it's not totally clear exactly how to manage this oxygen in the right way. You know what, though? If I do like this and this... Wait, do I want to do that? Why was I thinking this again? Oh, right. I want it here because now someone standing up here could push this in the right place. Although actually, maybe easier would be someone standing here could pull on it. That's probably better, right? Because that would be... Oh, right. You can't make them rotate once they're placed. These guys, I mean. They can't rotate in the middle of an assembly. So it'd be nice if I could like shoot up here. Well, yeah. Pull this thing in, and then scoot over here and point at this. But I don't know how to do that. What does it look like to rotate this? Yeah, so this is kind of a weird idea that I had. Is like, suppose that this were out of the way, like over here, right? You could rotate this. And now you can access this molecule to, like, say, remove some carbons from it. So if you scooted over here, you could remove some, hydrogens. And then you could rotate it again, and you would have access to this molecule standing here with the same actuator, right? Likewise, you could... oh, this is actually way cooler. Maybe. You could, like, operate on this molecule and then rotate it into place by grabbing this and spinning right. Right? Like, let's say we wanted to do something like this. Now, this molecule is kind of in place to be bonded with, right? And we were able to use this actuator to do it, which is convenient because that is the same kind of actuator you want to be, like, pulling the oxygen down with, I think. Although, maybe if we're rotating this big old chain of carbons anyway, we could push the oxygen in at some other location and it would be fine. Right? Like, actually, we could push it in here now, right? The oxygen could just go east. This guy could even do it. Oh, right, no. The thing is... Right. Well... Yeah, I mean, it's a little hard. And plus, all this, like, kind of messes with the plan of rotating the carbon and nitrogen back this way, so maybe that's not so smart. It's also not obvious how to get the carbon, this carbon, to lose a hydrogen. Oh, hang on. One... I didn't move this stuff far enough, I guess. Well, we'll just put it here. There you go. Okay. I haven't really made any progress in the last 8 minutes or something. Okay, I've come up with ideas, but none of them have been very useful ones, I guess. These, like, big old hexagons are hard to work with when you want to get to, like, these two molecules. I'm not sure how to do it. Like, you could... Obviously, you could have two diametrically opposed actuators, But having 2 of those here and 2 of them here really sucks. Doesn't it? Maybe that's just the best thing to do, though. So, like, let's have 1 keep doing what it was doing. And we'll have 5's job be, like, add enough hydrogens to isolate this thing. Pull it back by just 1, I guess. And then remove the hydrogens again. Meanwhile, someone here just has the job of removing 2 hydrogens. Oops. Likewise, someone here just removes 2 hydrogens. Ah, you can at least do something else with this guy, which is nice. You can then move right and rotate right twice. Oh, I didn't. I pushed the wrong button there. There we go. Excuse me? Am I just putting these in the wrong, like, what? I need someone to, like, go back and look at the replay here. I have no idea what I was doing. I put it on 5, I think. Yeah, I see. So what's 5 actually doing and what should he be doing? Not that. Okay. He's supposed to be pulling this and then removing the 2, right? 4, after doing this, should scoot right, rotate right twice, scoot left. No, 3 times, of course. And also, I guess he needs to remove a hydrogen from here. Whoa! Aha! Oh, that's kind of a bummer. This carbon is now the one that he sees, right? Not the nitrogen. Okay, well, I guess it's 6's job to rotate it then, not 4, huh? Which is fine. I guess actually those were all the wrong thing. You're adding a no, you're removing a hydrogen, but not yet. You're rotating it and then removing a hydrogen. Oh, he can't see it! Oh, it bonds with the friggin' carbon. How do we fix that? I mean, obviously put more nitrogens in, or more hydrogens in the carbon first. Oh! There's a spot where we could at least shunt one, right? While it's like this. And 4 could shove another one in there. So on this stage, I want 6. Well, actually, you can keep doing what you were doing, I guess. To shunt one in. 4 should go help with the task of putting hydrogens in here. Yeah, I guess that's the best time to do it. Did that work? I blinked and I missed it. What's gonna happen at this stage if I just have the scoot everything down a bit and put one more hydrogen in there? Is it gonna remove its extra bond with the nitrogen or not? Yes. Okay. I don't totally understand why it double bonded in the first place. Oh, it's because the nitrogen became able to when I shifted a thing over there. Okay, I see. The carbon already wanted to, but the nitrogen couldn't. Got it. Oh, yeah, right. This is the problem. We can't do the carbons all at once, either. Ugh. Okay. Yeah, I did talk about this at the beginning. So I guess 4... Jeez, what a mess. This nitrogen needs to lose one hydrogen. And this carbon to lose one hydrogen. Then they'll bond together. And I think it might actually be a better idea, instead of just removing hydrogen from here, to actually shunt it into this one. We don't actually want any more here, but it'll prevent this from, like, forming any more bonds quite so soon. I don't know. It doesn't really make a lot of sense. Yeah. Okay, so who is it that, like, okay, 1 is still doing totally fine. 5 is still doing totally fine, but 4 and 6 need their plans reworked. So let's kind of forget about 6 for now. Let's have 4 do like that, right? And it's going to scoot over here and just like start trying to do what it can to be useful. Which is not that. Let's start by bonding the nitrogen to the carbon so that they're like, they've got that sorted at least, right? No, it's in the wrong place? How did I get that wrong? It's supposed to be here. Ah. So I have to rotate it and then also pull it to get it to line up. So it can't even bond properly where it is. Yuck. So maybe it's 3's job to do this stuff. And 4... Okay, so 3 on like round 2 here can go ahead and pull this. Not 4, 3. No, because we're still working on the oxygen. What do I want to happen at this stage? I want 4 to move. I want 5 to add a hydrogen. 3 kind of can't do anything, right? I guess we just wait a tick. And then 3 pulls it. No, don't pull it yet. Better rotate it first, huh? Because this carbon is now available to bond, which we don't want. The worst. Oh boy. So we could rotate it a bit first, then pull it into place, then make the nitrogen available for bonding. But once we do that, we can't rotate the carbon anymore. So I think we have to pull it once, then rotate it a bit, but not enough that the... No, it's fine. If you pull it once, then even if you rotate it twice, the carbon won't be touching anything that'll allow it to bond. So that's sort of fine. Right. Rotate it, then pull it, then rotate it again. So, in fact, more like this. Right. Now, it's kind of in a place where we can do all the stuff we want to with it. In particular, we need to rotate it one more time, and then have 4 remove a carbon, right? And 3 can start adding carbons. Or hydrogens, whatever. Right, now we've formed the bond we want over here. This whole bit is finally like sort of figured out, although not beautiful, like we made it work. We just have to use our last bit of work to bond these 2 together and then join everything up here. It shouldn't be too bad. Right, so 5 has been like dutifully doing stuff, and nothing else ever goes anywhere near this carbon. So as soon as this one has finished bonding is when we can remove a hydrogen from here. And admittedly, that is like friggin' forever is when that's available. But you know, that's life. So that's here. This is the soonest we can afford to remove a hydrogen via 6's job. I always leave it. Where is it? Here. And of course we can have pulled this anytime we want. So like so, right? And in fact, we also need to, having pulled it, remove both hydrogens that we added just for the purposes of separating it. And we actually need 6 to remove 2 hydrogens. So it's something like this. Oh no, that made another one. Well, I really don't want that. So what I think I should do to avoid the problem of this thing reappearing is make sure that I'm like constantly covering this, because I really want this space to work with, right? And so I think instead of pulling the oxygen, I should push the, whatever this shit was. Right? So 5, your job will not be to pull that. Instead, it's now safe to put the hydrogens away again. And we'll move you to the right where you can get ready to push this thing into place. Which I think happens about here? No. I have to wait for it to bond. We actually have to wait longer because 3 is still fixing it up. Well, no, 4 can do that, right? Right, now this is all bonded together. We just have to connect the two. Which means removing a hydrogen from here and one from here. Now here is actually a little tricky. I guess it has to be 1 that does it, right? He's the only one who can reach at the moment. Okay, this is sort of the state of the world when we're done. In fact, 1 could go back a bit sooner. Uh, 4 is adding a hydrogen. What is 6 doing? Removing 1? Oh, he's meant to be over. He's meant to have made space for the double bond, but he didn't actually do it. I pushed it away too soon. So like that. Okay, now the double bond is in. And 4 is still in the right place to add. Well, actually 3 could do it now, right? He could. But I actually want 3 to get up here to start working on this carbon, right? So that's left 3 times, and then remove, and then right 3 times. It's pretty gross. Oops. Right then left. Right. So that's all very lovely. 1 needs to go right once. Well, he could just wait actually for things to line up. Yeah, at this stage, all we need is for 5 to push twice. And right at this stage, 1 should remove a hydrogen, right? Why did that not happen? Oh, did he remove it too soon, maybe? Yes. Wait till here. I really tabbed through that unreasonably quickly. So he's pointing at the right place now. Oh, we can't do the second push yet because this guy isn't ready. Not until 3 says so. So like this. Now it's prepared to bond. This looks right. I just have to make sure everyone gets back to their original assigned position. 1's already there. 3's there. 5 has to go back. And meanwhile, I think just about anyone could submit it, right? We'll have 1 do it. Alright, tell me what it is I messed up. Why is it the wrong product? I'm sure it is. No, it wasn't. And we didn't leave anything lying around. We're just making the right thing over and over. Okay. Very low on modules. That's a bit of a surprise. What did I do that was so special? I just used the 4 like things, and okay, I used 5 of these instead of 6, but that doesn't seem that amazing. Other people were using way more somehow? I don't get it. It's a mystery. Huh. Alright, well, I mean, there's our half hour and a bit, right? So I think that today all we're getting through is ketamine. I don't even know how to pronounce kojic acid, but I guess we're going to learn all about what it is tomorrow. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.